I spend a great deal of time right here in the driver's seat of my Colorado, and that's because it is my daily driver as well as my weekend adventure vehicle. And as with any other aspect of the truck, modifying the space so that it's more reflective of my personality as well as the utility that I want is a big part of that. In some cases, that might be as simple as putting some 511 hex grid in to put all of my gear closer to me when I need to. In other cases, it's going to be making sure that the driving experience is what I want. Part of that is in the exhaust world and what we do with the Overland Series exhaust, which is we want to get all of the performance, but we don't want the negative effects of what a droney or loud interior to making the driving experience less pleasant. Now, speaking to the driving experience and the way it sounds, one of the other aspects of that is going to be how the audio works. And while GM has made some vast improvements and the infotainment systems have gotten better, this system does have its shortcomings, and while we do organize the space a little bit more, GM does have this little pocket that is used for a Bose center channel when you do get the premium system. Neither the Bose Premium or the standard infotainment system were really what I wanted to have for my audio experience. So I did opt for the base. As you can see here, I do not have the Bose center channel, and I don't have the special tuning and amplifier that do come with that, but I plan to make these improvements. So starting with phase one of the modification, I am talking about replacing the speakers themselves. And I went to Kicker for direct replacements. And what they do have is a component 6x9. I am going to put those in the door, but I will be putting the tweeter into the A-pillar, not where the factory 2 3/4 inch speaker is. Now, Kicker does make a 2 3/4 inch direct drop-in that will go in there. I wanted a little bigger speaker so I can get more dynamic range. As you can see right in front of it, I do have one of Kicker's key smart amplifiers that I'm going to be using to power and control that. I'll talk about that in a moment, but first I want to get the rear speakers in. These will replace the factory doors, and of course put in the subwoofer to get a little bit of that bottom end that's lacking in the factory system as well. So we talked a little bit about what this is all about, and for me, the staging on this truck just isn't there. So getting back to why I'm going to be using the Kicker Key Smart amplifier, it's the same reason why Bose is using that center channel, that fifth channel, to create a better sound stage along with their tuning. I want to have a better audio experience up here instead of down in the footwells where the majority of the sound is coming from. The unusual part about how the key amplifier works is that it uses a microphone, and the microphone will be attached only for the purpose of doing tuning, and you'll put it into your listening position, and what it'll do is it'll listen to all the frequencies to create a natural balance as it's tuned, and correcting for both time and positioning of where your head, being the microphone, is, as well as compensating for either too much or too little mid-bass frequency. So because I'm going to be putting the tweeter into the A-pillar as well as having another high-frequency device duplicating the same signal in the corner, it's actually going to be able to compensate and create a sound that's going to be more natural within the EQ that Kicker has provided and not have an over bright condition, but correct for where the soundstage is. So in conclusion, phase one is basically a speaker replacement with the addition of the smart amplifier for better staging and a powered subwoofer. As I'm looking to further enhance that with some additional power, I do have to tap into the factory head unit, which means cutting wires, which is not a solution I want to take. So there are a few companies out there that have some plug and play wire harness solutions for adding an external amplifier. I am going to be looking into those, and that'll be part of my second video, which will cover what I'm doing for part 2. Now, there is a last portion of that, and then part 3 will be, of course, my camp area. So as I finish up the camp area, I am planning on integrating some more audio so that I can use that while I'm in the sleep area, in addition to having just some more sound at the campsite. So lots of stuff coming up. Definitely not done with audio here. Looking forward to an overall better experience. So Kicker is going to be a big part of this. I'm pretty excited about all the technologies that I have incorporated and they've made available. The biggest part is this stuff is practically plug and play.